We had a strong uptrend day yesterday in the market. Right on the open, we tested the prior afternoon support around 220, 233.15. We took out 234, and from there had a huge up leg of 235.5. At the end of the day, we came in around 50 cents, and sorry, not at the end of the day, like right at the close and into the Fs through this 235. I'm curious to see, I may actually backtest this. One thing I've noticed, I'd say in the last year or so, on these very strong uptrend days, there'll be some selling right at the close or right into the after hours. Almost people trying to front run, like profit taking the next morning, especially after like a big move like this. So from low to high on the SPYs, it was about $2.50, which is, you know, for the environment, for the low volatility environment we're in, is a very big move. Certainly more than twice the size of the average move we've been seeing these days. So that move at the end of the day brought it back into below 235. If there was a little bit of downside follow through to that, let's see here. And the first thing we have is around 1 o'clock, before that final up leg started, we pulled into the 234.60s. So that would be the first spot I'd be looking. Had a pullback 234.65 down to 234.50, this area right here. Larger pullback today or over the next few days. Want to see if the market can make a higher low. If we step back out and look at the last 5 days, that's Monday night gap down, was quickly bought. We got back above 233, and once we got above 234 yesterday, buyers really were starting to take control of the market again. So any type of pullback, we'd like to see hold in the 2 area to judge if buyers are really going to try to work us way back up towards the all-time highs from early March, the 238 to 240 area. So that's kind of how we're looking at the SPYs. On IWM, it's a little bit different.
8 o'clock, and I got 25,000 on it. That just happened to be the right place at the right time. Yeah.
We had run up to 135 the prior day. Yesterday morning we came in, we didn't test 134, because I know that's because I had a bid down there. We got to about 17 cents here, then got above 135. The way I was looking at measuring strength in IWM is, could we get a close above 135? We did. We got up to about 135.70 into the close. So here's the longer term view on this. I'd love to see it spend a few days just above 135 here, like it did these few days here, 3 out of 4 days. Hold this 135 a few times. That sets it up for an upside break. Back up to 136.5, 137. So that's on that. A failure to hold 135. Just look for one of those quick $1 down moves in IWM. It takes it down into the low 134s, right around yesterday's morning's low. Not a lot of great stuff on in the fresh news today. There's some stuff moving, but we'll see how it plays out. So the first thing is VRTX. Their combo drug for cystic fibrosis works. It's a huge gap up. Let's take a look at the daily. Let's see where this is. So after topping out in the 140 area, it had come in and supported 80 for a while. And last fall it broke below 80, then started to work its way back inside of this trading range. Now this morning it's gapping above this entire trading range from the last 15 months. So if we go back to the time when it broke down and formed this trading range, it basically broke down below 115. Then over a couple of days, it came into 100, and then just kept on going. This was basically the formation of the trading range, and you can see bounce back up here to 103, and hasn't been above 100 since August of last year. So this morning's gap takes it kind of right into the middle of where it broke down from, and the $100 level. So let's say it broke down from 115, bid right here is around 107.5. So kind of in no man's land. So it's a tough trade right there. I put 108, 109. Potentially, I think when I zoomed in on the 30-minute, this area right here was kind of interesting, and it is already up $18. So if it starts to go down, though, there's really no spot where I think people would be looking to buy until it got closer to 100. I put on 103 as the first potential spot, and I'd be careful in that area. But if it did hold 103, work its way back up to that 109, 108 resistance, it's a good risk reward. Obviously, a flush closer to 100 would give you a better risk reward. So the drug seems to have large impact both in the U.S. and Europe in terms of a new approval application in the U.S., marketing in Europe. So it's a big deal. But I've seen plenty of these situations with the good news, the profit taking. So you look at initial reaction, did take it up to that 109, top out there. It's already been down to, it actually went through 103 already in the pre-market. So we'll see if some selling pressure comes in after the market opens, if this can hold again. But people did hold the first potential support area. We'll watch right on the open. Failure here in the 109 area, start to hold below 108. We'll look to see if it makes some sort of higher low from this pre-market low. It's going to be a tricky stock. Normally has a $2 ATR. I would think it could easily have a $4 to $6 ATR today. So there's going to be some risk there. It normally trades 1.5 million shares, so there's going to be some good liquidity. It'll easily do 4 or 5 million shares today. The next one is RH. Now RH has been decimated as a stock the last couple of years. Here's the daily. And it's a high multiple retail furniture store. So anytime you have a high multiple on a kind of a non-tech stock, there's danger. So it was up at $100. Came all the way down to 25, tested that a couple of times, so 75% down move. Nothing that great in the earnings and guidance, but it seems like the gap up is more a product of it's just down 70% from the high, and their numbers are finally stabilized, and they gave decent guidance, and that was just enough for it to get above 40. So if we look at the move that it made this year, it came off, it broke down below $78, it went down to 60. Then when it broke down below 60, it went into 47. So this up move is more a product of how much it's come off, I think. It doesn't mean it can't test the top of its range here, so it's almost there in the pre-market. So here's the initial reaction to 44. It's only done 76,000 shares in the pre-market, so we're really not going to know until the market opens. If the market opens and it spikes very quickly to half 46, that's a spot where I think it's fadeable. And it's one of those situations where if it fades there, it might come in a point or $2 real quickly, and then we'll know, then we'll watch to see if that's the beginning of it actually coming in for a deeper pullback, or if it holds this area here and grinds its way back up to the longer term resistance. Now, recently, we've had some pretty good luck shorting right on the open into long-term resistance. We've caught those $2 down moves, and there hasn't been that downside follow through. So yeah, there's a huge short interest since it's been $80, $60. A huge short interest because of the fundamental issues there. Still trades even with this. Earnings guidance of around $2 a share for next year, still trades at over a 20 multiple, and again, it's a retail furniture store, and that's kind of the issue. Play, Dave & Buster's, down a couple of bucks. I think this is more a product of it's had a nice run the last year, and they didn't really guide that. I think it was 1%, pretty much in line guidance. And then you can just see from looking at this 30-minute how difficult a stock it is in terms of this range, this channel, this up channel, is just have some enormous down moves. And for people who like to kind of fade as things are going higher, there's been some, like at least $4, $2, $3 down moves as it's moved up from 55 to 62. So it's been tradable. Zoom in a little bit. So it was up at 62 yesterday. And what I put for support, 58 to 58 and a half, 57 and a quarter. So yeah, 57 and a quarter is the real, if it comes down into this area here, you're probably going to do okay buying it. It's 58 and a half to 50 in this area right here. Also not so bad. Let's zoom in on the pre-market. Yeah, so people already did this in the after hours reaction. They already were able to buy at 57 and caught a $3 up move. I don't know if you're going to get a repeat there. Maybe you'll get the higher low here in the mid 58s to low 58s. As I said, again, there was nothing that bad in the earnings. It was more a product of the run up in price, I think, and some profit taking. People were ready to buy it into that down move. So let's use 60 as an inflection on the open. Seen the after hours bounced to 60, had trouble a couple times. Now it's printing above there. It's holding below 60 right on the open. Not a bad trade on the short side. From yesterday, CARA, the one trade that worked very well. I think we had 1850 as our second support level, our deeper support, and that's what we got. Initial down move came to the low 19s, popped all the way back to 20, so there was some money there. But then it came into that 1850 and went all the way back up to $20. So it was a very nice restore there. I don't actually remember how I think I took 1850 off of the longer term, plus it was into the prior day's high. It was sold at 20 right on the open on this initial bounce from 19, and when I put in the low. And then again, it was sold a little bit lower, tried to make a run right at the end of the day, and then they sold it. So clearly somebody wants out of this stock at $20. Not exactly sure what that's about. But if we see it holding above 20, that's something you really need to be long. The next one is TSRO. This one got below 160 support, and they crushed it. It went through the prior 3 days support. And did that. So in this case, by the way, when it cracks 160, and if you're looking, for downside areas to trade it, it's 156 to 154, and it just kept on going and went to the next support. All the way back on March 21st. So it held 150, and it actually had a pretty good bounce to 156 almost. So now we'll watch to see if this 154 holds. And after it went to 156, it came into the 154. People were buying it there. Made a run up at 156 again. So after the initial hellish profit taking here of almost a $20 move, it seems to do this a lot, and stabilize. And the longer it gets accumulated here and then breaks back above, it won't surprise me if it goes back up to right back up to 160 to 1.5. This little spot right here. Darden DRI, this was very strong on the gap up. Initial move straight up to 81, then was accumulated all day above 81.5, closed at the high. I think it's probably an all-time high. Yep. So all-time high on this one. And you can see if we go back and look at the move that it made in the fall of 2016, it broke out above 65, went straight up. And I'm sure some people were fading, and it went up 2 more days, finally topped out. So look at the initial move. The initial move went from 64 to 68, and then over the next week, it went up another $5. And it didn't even really pull back there. It pulled back $1.50, and then it went up another $5. So this doesn't have to be the end. In fact, if we just kind of compare it to the last time it broke out, it seems like maybe it could work its way into the mid-80s. $82.75. So I used yesterday's high. That's really the only resistance level above $82.75. That would be a new all-time high. Obviously, want to keep an eye on the spot where it was accumulated in the afternoon in the 81.70s. And finally, Snap. Snap had a really good 4-day run. It did have a negative catalyst yesterday with that Facebook video disappearing, whatever. That's the Snaps product. That caused the initial selling in the pre-market from 24 to 2260. It did bounce off of that 2260, but failed to hold above 23 a few times. Finally, at the end of the day, when it started to roll over, it came off hard, took out the morning low, a little bit of downside follow through today. That's a nice pullback. 2150 from this 24 plus area is racing about half of the up since it bottomed last week. And so that would be a natural place for people to be looking to buy it, 2150 to 2130 right here. So it's been a pretty good trading stock. It went up a bunch. After going up 4 days in a row, came off hard, and the day came a little bit of downside follow through today. That's the spot to look for it to bounce from. If it actually fails there and holds below 2130, there's nothing really until 2080 or so. I imagine at 2080, people would be tripping over each other to buy it. So, small bookkeeping announcement for morning meetings. If you missed the live broadcast, it'll be posted by 9:15. In the real time, you'll get the archive update. If the morning meeting finishes late, the latest you'll see the recording would be at 9:30. And we'll continue to move those times up and up for posting of the archive if we move the morning meeting earlier. Be patient and good luck.
Hope you enjoyed that video. You can actually watch that video if you're subscribed to our Trader 90 before the market even opens. What stocks are in play? What levels in those stocks are important? And how we might go about attacking that stock. That's Steve Spencer, 20-year veteran trader, laying it out there every morning before the market even opens. A really, really powerful tool to start your session off on the right foot. So right now we're offering a trial that you can take advantage of to access this meeting and other meetings throughout the day. We have a meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern where you can sit down with Mike Bellafiore and listen to him talk about what's going on during the morning session, what stocks were in play, what the best trade opportunities were, as well as maybe some things that we're looking at heading into the afternoon session. So I really encourage you to take advantage of that trial.